Welcome to This Explainer. Right now, there is a massive, fast-moving energy shift hitting Indian roads, and we are pulling back the curtain on it. Today, we're unpacking the illusion of Mumbai's newly launched E85 fuel. We're going to reveal the hidden mechanical risks and, honestly, the financial traps lurking right behind its incredibly cheap sticker price. If you drive, this is a shift you absolutely need to understand before your next trip to the pump. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's talk about this massive discount. Mumbai just opened its very first commercial E85 fuel pump. You pull up and there it is. E85 retailing at 91 rupees and 18 paise per liter. Compare that to the steep 111 rupees you're shelling out for standard E20 petrol. And man, saving roughly 20 rupees a liter feels like an absolute victory for your monthly budget, right? It looks like a total financial lifesaver. But hold on a second. What if this massive discount actually costs you more in the long run? A huge fuel trap is unfolding here, and we really need to dig into whether this cheaper fuel might secretly be doing a lot more harm than good. Could it destroy your current car's engine? Could it tank your fuel economy so badly that you end up losing money despite the lower price per liter? Well, we are looking at the raw, real-world data to find out exactly what's going on. First, let's break this down chemically to understand our baseline. What is currently sitting inside your vehicle's tank? Pretty much every standard fuel station in India sells E20 petrol. That E stands for ethanol, which is a high-purity, plant-based alcohol brewed locally from things like sugarcane. So, E20 is a mix of 80% traditional petrol and 20% alcohol. Every modern vehicle manufactured in India recently is legally mandated to handle this specific mix without any issues. Think of it as a nice, balanced diet for your car's engine. But check out the stark contrast of the new E85 fuel. As the government pushes further into green energy, they're rolling out this maximum strength blend. It contains a staggering 85% plant-based ethanol and only 15% pure petrol. To use a simple analogy, if standard petrol is a balanced diet, feeding your standard engine an E85 blend is the mechanical equivalent of forcing it to chug raw, high-grade rubbing alcohol. Which brings us to Section 1, Anatomy of Engine Destruction. To really grasp this mechanical risk, we found a fascinating recent interview with Hardeep Singh Brar, the president and CEO of BMW Group India. When he was asked flat out if existing cars on the road could be upgraded or maybe retrofitted with new software to handle these higher ethanol blends, his answer was a definitive no. He explicitly confirmed that the millions of older, standard vehicles currently on Indian roads absolutely cannot be upgraded to survive E85. Even premium brands are already reporting engine hiccups just from shifting fuel mixtures. So we need to understand exactly why this happens. If you accidentally pump E85 into a standard, uncertified car, you are introducing a highly corrosive solvent into a closed ecosystem. This powerful stuff aggressively dries out and destroys standard rubber seals. It literally rusts out iron fuel tanks, and it completely gums up plastic fuel injectors. It will destroy the engine from the inside out, leaving you with massive, unexpected repair bills. To run E85 safely, you literally need a specialized flex fuel vehicle custom-built from the factory with heavy-duty stainless steel fuel lines and chemically resistant gaskets. Moving right along to Section 2, the missing mileage. So what if you hear that mechanical warning and think, okay, I'll play it safe. I'll just go buy a brand new factory-certified flex fuel vehicle with all those custom stainless steel lines so I can run an E85 and pocket that 20 rupee discount. To answer that, we turn to the first real-world head-to-head mileage test conducted on an advanced flex fuel motorcycle, the Suzuki Gixxer SF250. Automotive journalists ran identical tests on this machine using both fuels. The results were honestly shocking. On standard E20 petrol, it achieved a highly efficient 38 kilometers per liter. But the exact moment they switched to the cheaper E85 fuel, the mileage fell off an absolute cliff, down to just 28 kilometers per liter. Let that sink in for a second. That is a catastrophic 26% drop in fuel efficiency purely from switching your fuel type at the pump. And this brilliantly illustrates the chemical physics at play here. Why did the mileage tank so hard? Because ethanol naturally contains roughly 1/3 less explosive energy density than pure fossil petrol. So, to create the exact same amount of horsepower and keep your vehicle moving at the same speed, your engine's computer has to open the fuel injectors wider. It literally has to gulp down massive volumes of E85 much faster just to maintain the exact same speed as regular petrol. Which leads us to Section 3, the hidden financial tax. We absolutely must expose the undeniable mathematics here to see what this efficiency drop actually does to your wallet. Here's the math based on those Mumbai fuel prices. You buy regular E20 petrol at 111 rupees, and you get 38 kilometers to the liter. Divide the price by the mileage, and your actual running cost comes out to exactly 2 rupees and 68 paise per kilometer. Now let's switch to that cheaper E85 fuel. You buy it at the discounted price of 91 rupees. But because your mileage plummeted to 28 kilometers per liter, you divide 91 by 28. The result? The E85 fuel actually cost you 2 rupees and 85 paise per kilometer to drive. The numbers simply do not lie. Because your engine has to burn through the cheaper fuel so much faster, you are paying a hidden tax of roughly 17 paise more for every single kilometer you travel. That 20 rupee discount you thought you snagged at the dispenser is a complete mathematical illusion. It is actually costing you more out of pocket to drive down the exact same highway. So we land on section 4. Who really pays? To be completely clear, India's aggressive push toward ethanol blending is undeniably fantastic for the country's macroeconomy. It reduces our massive reliance on expensive foreign crude oil imports, it shields the nation from geopolitical oil shocks in the Middle East, and incredibly importantly, it pumps trillions of rupees directly into the pockets of local Indian sugar farmers. On a national level, this policy makes perfect sense. However, the gap in this policy is the microeconomic reality. The macroeconomic benefits of going green are currently being achieved by shifting the financial burden and those severe efficiency losses we just talked about directly onto the shoulders of everyday commuters. You are the one absorbing the hidden tax of lower mileage. So how do you protect your wallet out there? You gotta follow these 3 steps. First, stay incredibly vigilant at the fuel pump. Avoid nozzle confusion at all costs. Second, never, ever put E30 or E85 into a standard uncertified car, or you're going to avoid your warranty and face tens of thousands in engine repairs. And third, realize that paying an upfront premium to buy a brand new flex fuel vehicle makes zero financial sense right now. Until ethanol prices are slashed even further to compensate for that 26% mileage drop, the math just doesn't work for the average commuter. Now that the illusion is shattered and the real-world mileage data is officially out there on the table, I want to leave you with this question. How will this change your next trip to the pump or the showroom? Would you still consider buying a flex fuel vehicle to support the macro benefits of green energy? Or will you protect your wallet and stick to standard petrol? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep these numbers in mind and stay curious.